Welcome to Inspire Me with Jay, a podcast focusing on meditation, the near death experience, and all things spiritual. Please like, subscribe to this channel, and share everywhere. Thank you. Hello, this is Jay Spose with Inspire Me with Jay. I have a guest today. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Thank you for inviting me. My name is Manohar and I am from India. I am currently working in the software industry and I also do a regular practice of meditation, and that's a brief introduction about me.
So you said that you had suffered from insomnia,
Yeah.
and now you use meditation among other things to treat insomnia.
Yeah.
How did you start to use meditation with insomnia?
Okay. Yeah, that is a really good question. Uh, so when I was struggling with insomnia, I basically was searching everything on Google, like whatever suggestion I could find. It was back in 2019-ish kind of a thing. So I was searching in Google everything that I could search of, and I was actually trying and looking for the quick short-term fix kind of a thing. To be honest, I was more thinking of how do I get into some kind of a sleeping pill which would just put me into sleep. That was more of my intention. But then I was also worried about the complications that happen with sleeping pills. Then I stumbled into meditation, and I was just like anything. I expected that meditation will also show instant results. So I was expecting, like, in the second day or the third day itself, seeing results, but that didn't happen. So what I did was, instead of starting, I started with breath meditation. Then I went to some other form of meditation, which is transcendental meditation, then chanting meditation. Then there was another form called as heartfulness meditation. So I kept hopping on to one form of meditation to other form of meditation. And then I used to also have sessions with a psychologist also. And then what he told me was I was living in a FOMO, so fear of missing out. And what he suggested me was to stick to one practice of meditation and do it regularly. And what I did was, I just went back to basic, which is breath meditation. And then what I used to do is, before going to sleep, I used to just do a 5 minute meditation. That's it. A 5 minute meditation for one week. And then I slowly increased it to 7 minutes, 8 minutes. And then slowly I used to increase it to 20 minutes kind of a thing. And before going to sleep, I made it as part of my sleep ritual to meditate and then go to sleep. And the change was not linear kind of a thing. Though I was meditating, I still had few bad sleepless nights and all those things. But I persisted with the practice of meditation, and that's when changes happened, and I was able to overcome insomnia.
So you just use breath meditation, then you don't do anything else right now, then?
Uh, yeah. So as of for me as such, I only use breath meditation, Jay.
Hmm. How long do you meditate now on a daily basis?
Uh, so it's something like 20 to 30 minutes kind of a thing. So 20 is minimum I put it, and if I have time, I meditate for 30 minutes. That's the thing I follow.
And is it just before you go to bed then? Do you meditate at any
Yeah,
other
yeah,
times during the
yeah.
day?
No, I at the other times of the day, I follow this practice of mindfulness multiple times, like when I'm having a sip of water, or when I'm having trying to have my food, or when I'm walking from one room to the another, or when I go to my office from one place to another. I practice mindfulness practices with that. But in terms of meditation, I only do it in the night time. Yes.
Hmm. Well, when you do your breath meditation, do you take in deep breaths in through the nose and out through the nose, or how do you do your breaths and when you're
Okay,
meditating?
so when I started, all I did was I used to listen to guided meditations, which were 20-minute kind of thing, and all I used to do was just follow what was given in the guided meditation. Uh, so the process that was suggested in the guided meditation was to just breathe as you do. So don't consciously change anything in related to the breathing pattern, and just focus on the breath. So just like anything, our mind keeps wandering, so keeps thinking about all those things, like things in the day, or what you want to do in the future, that's tomorrow or whatever, all those things. But then it was told to just come back to the breath and just keep doing this all over again. So right now I have started this practice where I'm deliberately slowing down the number of breaths. That this I have just started very recently, about 20 to 30, 25 days back. But mostly I have been following just the simple thing, which is to observe the natural breath. I don't force anything.
Hmm. Yeah, I had actually read about you can sleep better if you do some breathing exercises right before bed, where you slow your breathing down to just a very minimal, and it can just help you sleep better overall.
Yeah, yeah. Yes. Yeah. So, I also, there's another technique which I think you might know. It's called the 478 breathing technique. So, where you inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 7 seconds, and exhale for 8 seconds. So, basically, what this practice does is, what happens is we have something called as a sympathetic nervous system and the parasympathetic nervous system. Sympathetic nervous system is the fight or flight thing, which is like in the day when you want to rush, you want to do some things which require a lot of energy. That is when the sympathetic nervous system kicks in. And then the other part, which is the rest and digest nervous system, which is the parasympathetic nervous system. When you deliberately slow down on your breathing practices, what happens is your parasympathetic nervous system gets activated, and the rest and digest happens better. And that is how you could go to sleep better. That's my understanding of on this topic.
Hmm. Well, you went on to write a book about your experience with insomnia and how you overcame it
Yeah,
too.
yeah, yeah. Yes.
So
Yeah. So I have.
oh, go ahead.
Yeah. Go ahead. Say sorry.
Oh, I was just going to ask you if you wanted to tell us a little bit about your book and what you
Yeah, yeah.
found and
Sure.
everything.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, so when in the year 2019 I had this phase. So I after overcoming this thing, I always had a fascination of becoming a published author right from my childhood. So that is when I decided that I should write something from my own experience that will help others. So my book is called My Sleepless Nights. It's available on Amazon, both as a Kindle and as a paperback. So basically, my book is all about my journey, how I went into deep insomnia, like what are the pitfalls I encountered, and those counseling sessions, which my psychologist, what I talked with him, and how he explained me, and how I went started the practice of, like I mentioned earlier, I started with the breath meditation. Then I went into some other form of meditation. And then when I realized that I was in a FOMO, I changed back to normal, simple breath meditation, and how I did this thing again and again. And I also explained the importance of persistence in this book. Yeah.
Hmm. Was there, so you use mindfulness and you use breath meditation. Are there other things you use to help treat your insomnia?
Uh, yeah, so there are a couple of other things also, which is one few things which I stopped doing. Okay, the first thing was when I used to back in those days, I used to have a ritual like watching news in before going to bed. So, and those were kind of a debate shows wherein people just vociferously talk against each other. So I realized that there is no point spending time in them. So and most of the news, like you would also agree, are mostly negative news, and I stopped cutting down on that. And then the second change which I did, Jay, which helped me a lot, was uh, previously I used to have my dinner at evening 8:30 or around 9 a.m. 9 p.m. Sorry, I moved my dinner time to much earlier, which is 6:30 7 p.m. So what actually happened was, when I have my early dinner, what used to happen is, all my digestion process, basically everything in our system needs energy, right? So when you have your dinner early, much early, what happens is the energy required to digest your food is done, and then there is nothing which is going to stop you from or see, like, let's say, like, if you eat very late, the energy is needed to digest the food. So there may be some obstacle when you go to sleep. So having early dinner helped me a lot. And the other things which I used to do is, I used to spend some time, some downtime kind of a thing, wherein I used to sit with my daughter and do some kind of coloring, drawing, and those kinds of things, and read some stories for her, and spend some time which is relaxing for me. And that actually, combined with the practices of mindfulness and meditation, they really help me a lot.
Hmm. Well, is for most people, is insomnia more psychological or physical in nature?
uh, in my case, it was both, Jay. What happened was, in terms of physical, what happened was I started losing my hair. I had digestion issues, and I had all kinds of things like heartburn and those kinds of things. And also psychological issues, wherein I was spending the whole day wondering, how will I fix my sleep. I was like, keeping a record, like, yesterday maybe I slept only 4.5 hours or 5 hours. How do I fix this, and how can I survive with very little sleep of 4.5 hours or 5 hours? Or there were also few days where I don't even know when I slept or not. I always kept checking those kinds of things, and I was waiting so desperately to sleep. And I even remember the day where even I was literally crying, waiting for this period to end. So in my case, it was both physical and also psychological. And I feel, in most of the cases, so there is no one size fits all approach, but I feel, as far as my understanding goes, our brain, for it to survive, it will just do very bare minimum things, like it could compromise on either your hair, or those kinds of things which it thinks that are not necessary for you to survive. And definitely there will be some kind of physical changes, is my understanding.
Hmm. Well, does stress and anxiety play a large role in insomnia?
Yes, yes. Anxiety plays a very large role. What happens is, so when you get into insomnia, and anxiety starts kicking in, that you are not going to sleep, and you always. So I spent most of my days wondering whether I will sleep tonight. All those kinds of things, and anxiety starts kicking in, and anxiety feeds insomnia, and insomnia again back feeds the in anxiety, and it's a vicious circle. It goes round and round, round and round, and it's like you always live in a worry state. So that was what I was experiencing. So I was in a constant worry state, and that was a vicious circle. And like I mentioned in my previous answer, my fixing my sleep rituals, and in combination with my mindfulness and meditation, broke that thing, vicious circle.
Hmm. Well, is there any connections between insomnia and sleep apnea? Because they're both sleep disorders. I didn't know if there was people that ever had both of those. Because I had suffered from sleep apnea. I have a
Okay,
machine, like a
okay,
CPAP.
okay.
You know.
Uh, I'm not an expert in sleep apnea, Jay, so I would defer this question.
Hmm. What is because you'd mentioned that you did transcendental meditation, and I haven't had anybody on the show that had practiced that. Did you like transcendental meditation at all, or?
Uh, to be honest, I just did it for 2 to 3 days, and since you are a meditation teacher, you yourself would say that any practice of meditation needs to give some more time. So 2 to 3 days is a very little time for any practice to really show result. So I didn't go very deep into transcendental meditation.
Hmm. So you're a sleep coach, right?
Mhm. Yes, yeah. I'm now I have started helping people having these issues of sleeping. So I've seen a lot of people who have this issue, just like what I struggled. So I decided to coach people on helping them get out of the insomnia.
Hmm. Well, are most of your clients online or are they in person?
Uh, As of now, most of my clients are online, Jay. So I haven't done anything in person. So even though they are from my same city, I just do a telephonic conversation with them. So that is what I am doing as of now.
Hmm. So, do you think, I mean, is meditation more prevalent in India and other Asian countries? Because it's obviously practiced in every religion, but
Mhm.
people tend to associate meditation a lot with both Hinduism and Buddhism, which are more prevalent
Okay.
in Asia. Do you think meditation is more prevalent there than in the
Uh,
West?
I can't speak for the West, but what I know from India is uh, like you said, every religion has the core concept of meditation, and in the Hinduism, in the our sacred book, the Bhagavad Gita, the Lord Krishna talks about how to meditate and all those things. But like we live in a globalized world, Jay. So we Indians, I mean Indians who work in the either software industry tend to mimic the Western culture. So I feel that not many people, from whatever interactions I have, not many people have started on this practice of meditation. And then also I feel that many people think that meditation is for some old age guys. When you retire, when you have do nothing, you have to do nothing, and then you will do those things like meditation and all those things. And the biggest excuse which I see with when I talk with people is uh, I can't meditate because my mind continuously gives a lot of chatter. So that is and that then they just give up after just 1 or 2 days is what I feel from my interactions.
Hmm. Do you have a lot of, how do you deal with the chatter and the distractions in your meditation?
uh, yeah, so the thing which I understand is meditation is a state of becoming empty. So whenever the distraction comes, all you need to do is just go back to your breath. So focus on, I mean, you have to just focus on becoming empty. You need not focus. See, basically, I feel what I was talking with one client, and what he was telling me is um someone was talking to him saying that if you meditate, you will see some divine energy, divine powers, and all those things. And he's saying that I don't see that, and that's when he just gave up from with this practice of meditation. But from what I understand is, if you start any practice with an expectation, your brain will start keeping looking that, did you get it, did you get it, did you get it, did you get it. So if you are always on the verge of looking for something, it becomes so difficult. So so my advice to anyone who is starting with the practice of meditation is, don't expect anything. So just do this thing without expect any expectation, and you will see a lot of benefits. Even the scientific literature even points to this. There are so many scientific studies that have been done related to the meditation, and how doing meditation changes your brain waves and all those things. And Jay, who is a meditation teacher, can talk very detail about this thing, this aspect, what are the benefits of meditation. But the only caveat I would say is, don't start this practice of meditation with an expectation. And the distractions, they are normal, they do happen, and you just need to just don't engage with the distraction, just come back to the breath. And that's the practice which I have been following.
Hmm. How long have you been meditating for with breath
uh,
meditation?
yeah, I have been doing it since 2019, Jay. Uh, so it's almost like 4 years I have been doing it.
Do you still have any insomnia?
No, no, I don't have any insomnia right now. So yeah, I do have some couple of occasional sleepless nights. I do have it, but I don't have insomnia because I have stopped giving so much weightage. Before, I was giving like too much weightage to my sleep and giving so much importance to that. I do accept it. I do accept that there will be few days where there will be some sleepless nights, and I just take it and put it as part of game, and then I just move on.
Hmm. So, um, how many clients do you see now for insomnia? I mean, do you have like a certain number you're working with?
Uh, there is no hard and fast rule like the number of clients, Jay. I am working with not only with insomnia, I am also working with few people who are having anxiety also. Yeah, but related to insomnia, I do have some active clients, and I am also looking out for clients who are having this issue. So right now I'm just giving a one-on-one help to people who are having these issues. Yeah, and I have helped more than 10 people. So right now in the pipeline, I do have approximately 5 people with whom I'm working.
How long does the session usually last? Do you go, like an hour, or do you sort of help them in a meditation itself?
No, so I do have a process which I have uh, created based on completely my experience, and also based on the way I have helped other people. So some things take some longer time, and some things take lesser time. So you can take an average is 30 to 45 minutes call per session.
Hmm. So, is there any last word you'd like to leave with the audience before we close out?
Yeah. So I just want to say, like, uh, if you are struggling with either anxiety or insomnia, so don't worry. Don't think that it's the end of the world. There are so many people who have done it, and I believe the host Jay is also an example where he teaches meditation, and he also has a course on Udemy. That's what I saw from his Facebook profile. So you could learn meditation, and then trust me, meditation has lot of benefits. You will see a lot of benefits not only related to your health, and also you will see a lot of benefits related to productivity. But the only suggestion I say is, don't start practice of meditation with any expectation. Once you put any expectation, it will always be very difficult for any practice to start. Just do it with a practice of no expectation, and you will see results.
Hmm. Yeah, well, thanks for being on. People can get your book on Amazon. What is the title of your book?
Yeah, my book's name is My Sleepless Nights.
And where can they reach you if they want to get in contact with you?
Yeah, so I do have my website with my name, manohargrandhi.com, or you can also find me on Facebook, LinkedIn, and I'm also on Instagram, Twitter, everywhere I am there. So you can search my name and you'll find it.
And you have a podcast on Instagram, don't you?
I have not a podcast. It's an Insta Live sessions I conduct, and the Insta Live sessions is with people who have overcome uh, uh, these issues, be it any kind of mental health issues. And I'm happy to say that Jay will be our next featured guest on Insta Live show. And so people who want to see her story of Jay can tune in tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. IST. So you have to convert it back to your timings, and you can listen to his version and how he started on meditation, and what are the benefits of meditation and all those kinds of things. Yeah, I do have a regular weekly show, a talk show on Instagram.
Well, thanks for being on. It was a pleasure to have you.
Yeah, thank you, Jay. And I want to express my gratitude for giving me an opportunity to talk on your podcast.
I spent several years of my life stressed, anxious, and depressed. I needed to find something that would make my life work. For me, that was meditation. With meditation, I found the peace of mind that I was looking for. I found the happiness, and I found a way to improve every area of my life, my emotional life, my spiritual life, my relationships. I was able to discover things about myself. I can give you the tools to meditate. I will walk you through the process and hold your hand. Whether you're a beginner to meditation who's never meditated, or whether you're someone who's tried meditation and it just never seemed to work, we can make it work. Meditation is something that everyone can do, and I can show you how. Check out my course on meditation.